Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the WardiTV Monday number 9. Welcome to the round of 16, and we're just jumping right into our second series of the night. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Chinese Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Weibo Gaming. It is Oliveira. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the French Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. Currently teamless, but repping his old Alpha X logo, his old Alpha X clan. It is Arrogfire. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Coming into this, I would say that Oliveira is the heavy favorite, but I have not actually casted Arrogfire in a very long time. He is a very young player, very young up-and-comer in the European region. He has been rising the ranks, and yeah, I wouldn't believe that he can take it here to Oliveira. I mean, hey, Arrogfire, he already took down Creator 2-1. That's a big win. It's a big win for Arrogfire. It is a PvP, is a different matchup. True. That is definitely true, but I want to believe he can translate some of that here to his PvT as well. We'll see. We shall see. As he does move out. So far, so good. Oliveira going for an economic opener. Single gas start here from our Red Terran, going for a Rax expand. CC most likely on the low ground. And Arrogfire will confirm this. As the probe dipped in and got eyes on the single gas geyser. Likewise, Arrogfire going for a Gate Cyber into expansion, so standard opener out of our Protoss. Oh, even does force the off-center CC as well. Nothing too major, but a nice little win here for Arrogfire. Will delay the economy slightly for Oliveira. He does get the hell out of there. Does pull away. Will pull away. Oliveira going for the initial Marine. Reactor follow-up. Getting ready for, I would imagine, his Reaper production, or preserving his gas to go into a faster factory, into something a little bit more tech-heavy in the follow-up. Keep an eye on Oliveira. Again, Oliveira has been taking a more aggressive approach in this matchup. We speak about this all the time, but there was an interview now a couple of months ago at this point where Oliveira spoke about his growth in the matchup, spoke about how he had a discussion with Maru about how he was struggling for a very long time being more of a reactive player and trying to counter the Protoss, when Maru was like, no, you're trying too hard. Like, Papi, ape it up, be the aggressor instead, force the Protoss to respond to you, and you can have a little more success there. And Oliveira, since then, has been more aggressive, has found more success, has been more dominant in the TvP matchup. And we'll see what that leads into. For now, Reactor Marine production, we do have that Cyclone follow-up into the 111, into that Starport. Meanwhile, Arrogfire, we have his tech of choice, Twilight Council. It's going to be the Twilight Council for the Protoss player. This should be for Blink, but the question now becomes, how many gateways? 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink Stalker? Depending on how many gateways, it will dictate how aggressive or how economic Arrogfire is going to be. As there's the recentering of the command center. Adepts, they threaten the shade. They keep Oliveira on his toes. Oh. As they try to. Arrog does pull away. And additional gateways are in production here. Okay, it's going to be 1 gateway on the low ground. And oh my god, that's going to be 3 gateways in the main. It's going to be 4 gates Blink Stalker. That Max Pax, is that you? Arrogfire being hyper aggressive here. And it's going to be on Oliveira to defend, to survive against this, and to get ready back at home. Tech Lab's on the way. That's going to be for the first tank. Did open up initially Cyclone. The reason for this, the reason why tank production is going to be a little bit more delayed, is because Oliveira didn't scout. Oliveira doesn't know what's going on. For all he knows, it could be a Stargate Phoenix opener, could be Oracles, could be 2-gate Blink into a 3rd. Oliveira is playing blind. As a result, he's going to be moving out. Again, first tank is still on the way, but he does rock up here with 2 Cyclones with Master Marine. And can he break the natural? No shield battery. Uh-oh. No safety shield battery here for Arrogfire. And before we can start warping in and making use of all those gateways, the army is here. I mean, he does push into the natural. Stalkers get in position. Medevac goes down. Oh, that's already 2 Stalkers going down. There's only 4 left. Oh, down to 3. But in this micro there from Arrogfire does not save the Stalker. And Oliveira, he's popping off. Takes out another Stalker. Blink kicks in. Another Stalker goes down. Ay. And some brutal losses, some brutal trades. And this is more than good enough for Oliveira. He doesn't break Arrogfire, but that's 5 probe kills, denied mining time, and how many Stalkers went down? 7. Oof, 7 Stalker kills. Again, Arrogfire, he did not have a safety shield battery, no overcharge. Likewise, there was a bit of miscontrol with the Prism as well. A lot of Stalkers went down. And even though Arrogfire is counterattacking, even though he has a 4-gate setup, he doesn't really have the economy or the momentum to really keep this going. But he has to try. Arrogfire, he has to try. Is breaking out. There's 2 bunkers on the low ground. There's a tank. There's bunkers on the way high ground as well. Oliveira, he's just fortifying himself. He's walling up, walling off. And the Protoss has to commit. He's pushing in. Oh, into 2 bunkers. Dives on the tank. The first tank is going to go down. Oh, Raven under fire as well. Now for the bunkers, they hold their own. Take down some Stalkers. That was 1 Stalker falling. But Arrogfire, he does not stop. Warps in another round, rotating into the main. Here's his tank in position. Big volley goes off, takes down a Stalker. Boys being pulled to repair. Auto turrets get placed prematurely, and hey, they do work out. Preemptive auto turrets. Stalkers are falling. Marines, they try to dive on the Prism. Prism is low. Again, low. We do snipe the Raven, though. Nice pick off from Arrogfire. Gets the Raven, but he's forced out of the main. And this is still not enough damage. Oliveira still has a worker lead. Arrogfire rotates towards the natural. Ooh. Doesn't find a way in. And soon, Oliveira will break out. He's even going double factory. Oh my, wait, what? I didn't realize. I was like, wait, double factory? And then it sets in. Triple factory. He's making it up. He's crazy. Estelle Oliveira. Stalkers dive into main at the same time. Heli run by across of the probes. Oh, they line up the probes. Not like this. Massive heli volleys here in the natural. Probes are going down left and right. 12, 14 workers falling. Ay, ay, ay. 15. Casito, not quite. 14 probes fall. Arrogfire does have a 3rd, but he lost so many workers. And what's terrifying is the tank count's getting higher. I do like the dive lobs here into the natural, sorry, into the mineral line. Trying to force some friendly fire. But the Viking has arrived. The main army breaks out. And Oliveira, he gets a 3rd. He gets a 3rd, and he's making it up. Oh boy. 4 CCs on the way, building up more tanks, building up more Cyclones. Arrogfire now fully aware, of course. He did scout the main. He's working towards charge lots. Now, what I will say, there's a reason why mech isn't seen too often in this matchup. Charge lots, Archon, Immortal trade so efficiently against this kind of army. So well. But that also depends on the Protoss player having the better economy. That is currently not the case. Zells dive in, they force some friendly fire. But Zells they melt, Stalkers as well. They kind of push into, oh god! They kind of push into the tanks, not like this. GG gets called, and Oliveira will take game number 1. GG. With mech of all things. Now, to be fair, in a sense, Oliveira could have done anything at that point. If you remember, the initial double Cyclone bio push did so much damage. He killed 7 Stalkers and 5 probes. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're going 4-gate blink Stalker, every Stalker counts, and every probe counts as well. It was a very aggressive start out of Arrogfire, but he didn't see the move out. He did not have a safety shield battery. He was not ready for the initial push, and he lost a lot of momentum then and there. From there, the win condition for Oliveira was defend. Was survive. Was defend, survive the counterattack, which he did, and then from there he snowballed out of control. There was a lot of pressure on Arrogfire to try to punish the 3rd base in some way, but that was a brutal showing of the mech follow-up, and with that, GG. GG, well played. GG, well played. As Oliveira takes the first game, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. As we get ready for game 2, a big shout out to Nikita in the chat. Papi God, thank you so much for subscribing for 3 months. Thank you. Hope you appreciate the content. Hope you appreciate the StarCraft. Oh, as we are jumping into game numero dos. And it's going to be on Arrogfire. It's going to be on Alcyone, and it's going to be on Arrogfire to bounce back and to force that ace match. Here we go. Just catching up. Oh, hello, No Clone. Hello. Here we go. We are getting into our game number 2. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the red Terran player, the Chinese Terran, representing Weibo Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is Oliveira. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Protoss player, representing himself, looking to tie things up, looking to bounce back here in game 2 and force the ace match. It is Arrogfire. Here we go. And again, unfortunately, Arrogfire, he did lose a lot of momentum last game before he could actually embrace his 4-gate blink. Didn't mention at the time, but he lost so much in the early game to the initial move out. Unfortunately, did not see it coming. And we'll see how our players adjust here in game 2. On a larger map like Alcyone, I would not be opposed to Oliveira playing mech again. I would not be opposed to it, but we'll see. See what our Terran player has in store for us. As Arrogfire does move out. Will confirm once again an economic opener. So Oliveira just going rack to expand into a faster CC, to a better economy. But the follow-up is really what we're going to be paying attention to. Arrogfire likewise going for a gate cyber expand. Standard opener out of our Protoss player, once again forcing the CC to be off-center. Just being as annoying as possible with the first probe. Marine pops out, and the probe does get away. Probe is fended up. So far, so good. Oliveira getting into his factory. Safety bunker on the low ground to make sure he's safe against the depth harass. Not cutting any corners. And so far, we just have the same setup as game 1. And again, it's going to be on Arrogfire to be active with the Adept and to scout, to get a read on the army composition, on any kind of move out as well. The Zonaga will help with that, true. As long as Arrogfire has Zonaga, he will spot a move out ahead of time if it goes through the center. And once again, Twilight Council opener. Now, it's very possible after game 1 that Arrogfire, he might just feel a little bit frustrated about not actually getting into his 4-gate blink. Like, he was working towards that build, but he kind of stumbled into it after the early game in game 1. So he may try to do it again. May feel like he has to redeem himself and have a better execution of the 4-gate blink. We'll see. Keep an eye on the gate count. Oliveira getting into his 1-1-1. Reactivating out those Marines. This time going for the tech lab on the factory. Interesting. May just go for an add-on swap into initially Banshee production. Could go for a faster Raven. But this time he's not going for a medevac. He's not going for an early push. So is deviating. Meanwhile, Hellion moves out. Gets 3 probe kills. Oh my god. 3 probes to 1 Hellion. Very nice trade here by Oliveira. And we have confirmation it is Cloak Banshee. So it's going to be a Cloak Banshee tank push here from Oliveira. Again, this was very trendy around the era of, or even before EWC. Amongst the Korean Terrans, amongst the eventually European Terrans as well. Was very popular a couple of months ago. And this can hit quite hard. Now, Oliveira, he can go about this one of 2 ways. He can either harass with Banshees and move out with his tank-based army and try to hit another base, or he can just bring everything together and go for one big push instead. See how he does execute this in the end. Meanwhile, Arrogfire did open up Blink, but this time only 2 gates. So 2-gate Blink out of Arrogfire into a faster third, so very economic opener this time by Arrogfire. It means that he won't be too aggressive, he won't be too assertive, he won't have a Warp Prism, he won't have, you know, vision into the main. He is moving out with some Stalkers, but it's just for map control. So Arrogfire just going for a much more macro approach this time. As Banshees, they skirt around the edge of the map, headed towards the main. And we can see that Oliveira is not going for a 2-base all-in, 3rd CCs in production. So Oliveira, he is going to be macroing up from here. Arrogfire going to be tempted to dive into the main. The Banshee has arrived. 3 probe kills already, 4 probes. 4 probes go down. Observers on the way. It's a little bit too far back, and that's going to be 8 probe kills. Banshee gets cleaned up. Arrogfire, he does blink into the main. That's a 2nd factory. That's a 3rd. God damn it. He's playing mech again. That's a 2nd and a 3rd factory on the way. Oliveira, he is meching it up. Meanwhile, another Banshee does rock up here at the natural. This time there's a shield battery. This time Arrogfire doesn't lose too much. Just mining time. Arrogfire, he is keeping up, but Oliveira takes an economic lead thanks to all the worker kills. And it will soon take his 3rd. The Observer does fly too close to the sun. More factories on the way. Oh boy. Oh, and the Banshee still keeps going. Hits the 3rd. Arrogfire being pulled apart. 4 more probe kills. Banshee does get away. Oh, does attempt to. Cloak runs out, and looks like the Banshee will finally go down. A nice cleanup here by Arrogfire. Meanwhile, Oliveira going for Hurricane Engines. Building on more Cyclones. Forcing back the Stalkers. Oh. And checking the vision here, Arrogfire, did he see the... Yeah, he did. Okay, I was curious if he saw all the factories. He did spot the additional factories. Charge already done, +1 on the horizon as well. Oh, Arrogfire is supply blocked. Now is not the time. He's got 700 minerals in the bank. The supply block. Pylons are finishing up. We need warp ins. Arrogfire, he wants to hit here and now before Oliveira can build up and stabilize. No extra gases. Mass charge lot. Observer is denied. See Oliveira throwing down his depots, getting SimCity ready. Charge lots to get on top of the 1st tank. Yeah, 1 tank goes down, 2nd tank as well. Not a bad start. Boys are being pulled. And can Arrogfire break Oliveira? Gets the final tank. And looks like he may have just done it. Gets all 4 tanks. Gets into the mineral line. 15 SCV kills. I was a little bit concerned this is going to take too long, but no, it looks like Arrogfire, he does hit just in time. Doesn't kill his opponent, but does get the entire mineral line. 16 SCVs, and he resets the tank count as well. I feel like Arrogfire has to get the hell out of here. Okay, does pull away. Does have to get the hell out of here. Does pull out. And Arrogfire, he can go one of 2 ways from here. He can either just take a 4th base, macro, and settle down and build up, or he can just keep going and just keep pushing in. Just ensuring that Oliveira never really gets a 4th CC up and running and never builds up a deadly tank count either. War Prism is rebuilt. Arrogfire still being active. Meanwhile, Oliveira going mass Cyclone. Just barely any tanks behind this. 3 more tanks on the way. Does Arrogfire go for another dive? Does he push in again? He's tempted, I'm sure. This time with Archons and an Immortal. Oliveira has a lot of kiting potential with these Cyclones, but defensively, I mean, they can only kite for so long. Here we go. Arrogfire pushing in once again. A little bit mistimed with his flank. Big tank shots going off. Rotate towards the right. Zealous, they get trapped on the SimCity. And these are better engagements, better trades for the Terran. Arrogfire backs off. Ace teching. He throws down a Robotics Bay. I would not be opposed to just embracing Charge Lot Immortal and then working towards Sky Toss. This Bay should be for Disruptors though. So it looks like Arrogfire is just committing here to a ground-based army. Getting his 4th saturated. So is Oliveira. No tanks in position here towards the 4th. But the Cyclones, they can kite. Cannon will kite back. More Zealots on the way. Oh! Arrogfire, he thinks about it. We're sniping more Zealots. Even getting within range of the Archons. Oof, Arrogfire, he's leading off some Zealots here. These are some rough losses for the Protoss. We'll pull away. Oliveira holds. Building up more tanks. He has now secured his planetary, secured his 4th. 5th CC's on the way. Likewise, Arrogfire has map control with that. Takes the gold. Going for extra gases. First Disruptors on the way. Still only 1 Robo, which is a little bit concerning to me. Okay, never mind. This is the 2nd Robo. Thankfully. Isn't quite making use of it, but he has it. It's fine. There we go, making 2 Disruptors at a time. Arrogfire pushing up the ramp. That was not going to work out well for him, though. Nova goes off. D's connection takes down 3 Cyclones. Oh my god. But the tank volleys are brutal. Disruptor goes down. And I feel like we don't have to push into this. Like, calm down, Papi, calm down. Like, Oliveira wants this army to push up the ramp into all these tanks. He wants the fight. Arrogfire backs off. Did bleed off a couple of key units there. We need to calm down, Papi, calm down. Like, ideally, it doesn't feel good, but against mech, your goal should be just deny the 5th. Deny the 5th base. Not necessarily pushing into this kind of army. Clearly, Arrogfire wants to dive, but I don't think that's the best course of action right now. He does get eyes on the would-be 5th. And again, it should be on Arrogfire to deny this expansion and to not let the meching player get it up and running. Cyclones are forced out onto the map. Chargers, they dive in, but that's a massive siege line. A good kiting here with the Cyclones. Cells, they break through on the left. Nova's going up. But there's just not enough again. Arrogfire, he pushes into the concave of tanks. Not like this. Tank volleys are brutal. Oliveira being a little bit cavalier, pushing out onto the map. Leading out tanks. And he has yet to expand. Just now getting in position. Arrogfire, don't think he has enough to deny this expansion. Does rotate. I mean, he knows he needs to, but at this point, he has bled out so much supply. Gets a tank in the end. Does pick up a tank. At this point, it might just be too late. It might be too late to punish this base, is what I mean. Like, now there's another CC. We have a tank line. Cyclones are ready as well. Arrogfire looking for another way in. We'll find a free tank. Nice rotation. Oliveira having a hard time keeping up. Again, Oliveira isn't maxed himself. Nice kiting though on the Nova. Lock-ons are brutal. They take down the Zealots. The splits. Oh my god. Avoids the Nova for the most part. But Arrogfire, can he break through? He barely cannot. Once again, bleeding out a lot of units. And Arrogfire, sure, he has a better economy. He has all these bases, but he's also been taking some rough trades. And again, clearly he does not want to let Oliveira max out. don't want Arrogfire to keep rotating. Like, there are these weak points in the defenses of Oliveira where he doesn't have too many tanks. Likewise here as well, only one tank towards the left. Arrogfire pushing in, trying to force some friendly fire, getting on top of the tanks. We'll take down 4 of them, 5 of them even. Yeah, better engage here from Arrogfire, but has to back up. Now, what's important about that fight is that he only lost Zealots. Only Zealots went down, and the Immortal count is building up. So that was a better trade for Arrogfire. Preserving the Immortals, now up to 5. Disruptors survive this time as well. So he bleeds out his Zealots, then backs off. And then he can just keep replenishing. Just warp in more and more Zealots. Once they go down, retreat. He got like, what, 4 or 5 tanks with that. Immortals pushing in. Arrogfire gaining ground and getting another tank. Getting 2 more tanks. And then again, he runs out of Zealots, he backs off. As long as he preserves the Robo army, he's going to be okay. Because he's trading minerals for gas. Zealots for tanks. That's a lot of Zealots. Let's go. Arrogfire gaining momentum. Both armies are maxing out. Arrogfire rotating. Oliveira fighting out of range of his tanks. Oh, meanwhile, oh god. Arrogfire does overextend. That's going to be 1. That's going to be 2 Cyclones falling. Nice splits by Oliveira. These are brutal losses. That was what, half the Disruptors going down. Yeah, now Arrogfire, he has to fight. Bleeding out the Archons. Immortals pushing in. But where are the Zealots? Where's the support? It's not there. Yeah, just a rough fight here for Arrogfire. He's forced to engage. He's going to be pushing in. Breaks through. The Cyclone count's being reset, but he's pushing into so many tanks. Oh my god. There's so many tanks behind this. Massive volleys going off. And you can see Arrogfire, he's just running out of steam. He's running out of Immortals. Down to 3 from what, like 6 or 7. So it's coming in to reinforce. Arrogfire trying to force the issue, comes in from behind, getting on top of the tanks. Very nice flank here with the Zealots. Oh, takes on 3, takes on 4 tanks. Can he do it? It's close. It's a messy fight, but he barely breaks into the natural. Takes down more tanks. There's 3 Immortals left. Oliveira, he wants them. He wants them, and he's going to get 1. Ooh, he's going to get 2. And he might get all 3. He will. All 3 Immortals go down, and that was the backbone of Arrogfire army. That was the only thing keeping him in this game, was the Robo army, the Immortals, the Disruptors. And now he's down to 0. Likewise, though, I was going to say that Oliveira, his army was reset as well, but he's rebuilding his tanks, rebuilding his Cyclones. Oliveira has momentum, and he's pushing. Pushing into a mass amount of Zealots, though. Tanks, they will lay to siege. Not a bad fight for Arrogfire. Gets on top of the tanks. That's, oh my god, most of the tanks go down. Very expensive loss here for Oliveira. Hiding his heart out with those Cyclones. Oh my god. Does run the army around. The 1 tank getting value. And Arrogfire here overextends. Not like this. Oh, the Immortals hiding in the fog of war. In the steam vent, Alas goes down to the skin. And we're just in a really chaotic game state. Very chaotic. Both players are hurting. Both players need time. Can the Mass Zealot pull it off without Immortals? That's the problem here. So of course they catch a couple of SCVs. At the same time, Liberty harassing across the map. Gets 4 probes as well. Arrogfire pulling Oliveira apart here. And coming in left and right, gets 8 SCV kills. Not bad. Abusing this orbital. I believe this orbital is the main. It was floated over, so no planetary. Planetary for Oliveira. Again, have you seen? You can see how fragile this army is for Oliveira as well. If he's ever caught on siege, like pure zealot can overwhelm. Oh, but that's 17 pro kills. Jesus. To one lib. That's crazy. Liberator going ham. Meanwhile, Arrogfire going for a massive rotation towards the left-hand side. And the space is exposed. Only the planetary. Cyclones, they do respond. Oh. They keep up. Force back the Zealots. Oliveira taking another expansion. Zealots, they get a tank. This can still go either way. But it is down to positional play. As that wasn't the best engagement here by Arrogfire, bleeding out a lot of Zealots. Disruptor gets rebuilt. Gets one Hellion, sorry, one Cyclone. And Oliveira looks like he has too much. Just mass Cyclone. Let's go. It's not even the old Cyclone yet. But Oliveira, he does overwhelm. It looks like he has finally done it. Nova goes off. Massive connection. Gets 3 Cyclones. But there's just too much. There's just too much mech. Too many cars, papi. GG gets called. And Oliveira, he will take the series 2-0. Will advance on to the quarterfinals. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Oliveira will take it. A very shaky game though, very back and forth. There was some rough moments for Arrogfire, but there was some good moments for him as well. It was a roller coaster ride of emotions, and in the end though, Oliveira was able to stabilize, was able to rebuild and remax his army. As we saw, Arrogfire, after losing his massive immortal based army, he was never able to build it back up. He was never able to get back into that 5, 6, 7 immortal count. He was just stuck on a purely gateway army after losing all of them initially, and never fully recovered from that moment with that GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Oliveira, and a shout out to Arrogfire, of course, for competing. Did have some close matches here against Oliveira, and likewise, shout out to Oliveira for embracing and showing off mech whenever he can. Again, it is something that is done at the highest level of play. We have seen players like Gumiho and Maru flex their mech skills against players like Showtime in the past, for example. That has been done. But it's very niche style, very niche build. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. Oliveira does take it. And now we need a moment to embrace the bracket and figure out where we're headed. Oh boy.